was bumped by another driver during the final lap of the race. Then you see him hit the fence there. No word on the extent of his injuries, but we do know 13 spectators were hurt when debris flew into the stands. I want to bring in CNN sports anchor Mark McKay now. Mark, do you know how bad the injuries are to Franchitti or to the fans?
We actually know from team owner Chip Ganassi, Don, that the injuries to the driver, Franchitti, aren't known. Not the extent aren't as serious as we might think from a crash like this. The team owner said that he told NBC Sports that he spoke to his driver. He said Franchitti is talking, his ankle is a little sore, his back is a little sore. He's going to take a trip to the hospital, but he is okay. This from Chip Ganassi, owner, the owner of that racing team. That car went into the catch fencing there in Houston. Spectators that were injured, the Houston Fire Department say they took 13 spectators to the hospital, 2 with injuries that needed hospitalization. 2 were taken there with injuries that they say, the Houston Fire Department, Don, says are not critical. So it could have been a whole lot worse.
What more do you know about the crash? Now, the reason, I'm sure they're still investigating. What more do you know, Mark?
Well, it was basically a tip. These cars are going so fast around this track, Don. Anything that gets in the way, including another car, can send them horribly into the catch fencing. But that's exactly what this fencing did, Don. It caught the car, kept the car on the track. Yes, it basically exploded around Dario Franchitti and the other drivers involved, but it kept the basic parts of this car on the track. A lot of the spectators that were injured hit by flying debris. We've seen this so many times. We've seen it in NASCAR, and we've seen it in other instances where the catch fencing does its job. But apparently, high speeds, and he hit another car, and the car went airborne.
Mark, this isn't your bailiwick, but I just want to mention this to our viewers that Franchitti is married to Ashley Judd. Understand that they are in the process of a divorce. They filed for separation, I believe it was earlier this year. But this crash comes 2 years after Dan Weldon was killed in a crash in Las Vegas. Will these accidents have any impact on this sport?
I think it'll keep the sports in touch with the safety aspects, not only for the drivers, but for the spectators involved. You're right, Don. We're 10 days shy of the 2-year anniversary of Dan Weldon's death in Las Vegas, a high-speed crash that killed that popular driver on the IndyCar circuit. The sport will continue to look at the technology that keeps not only the spectators safe, but the drivers safe. But in this instance, it looks like, even though the car was basically disintegrated, spectators were injured, the driver was injured, but again, it kept the bulk of that vehicle in the track, on the track itself, and not necessarily into the stands or into the spectator area, and it did its job.
Hey, I just want to clarify, the images you were looking at earlier, these are from Weldon's crash 2 years ago. This one that you're looking at right now is from Frank.